Bodie, California, a boomtown built on gold, whiskey, and whispered curses. In 1880, its streets were a jagged mix of mud and ambition, its saloons louder than its churches, and its nights colder than a banker's heart. Into this rough, dust-bitten world came Eleanor Whitby, a young schoolteacher with straight posture, steady eyes, and not a single ounce of superstition in her bones. She came to teach spelling and arithmetic. She did not come to chase ghosts. But Bodie had a way of deciding what you believed in. The vanishing. It happened on her second week. Recess had filled the schoolyard with laughter, the one sound in Bodie that felt untouched by greed or gunfire. Eleanor was helping a boy tie his boot when a young girl, Annie Caldwell, wandered toward the edge of town, near the rising wall of red mountains. One blink. Two. And Annie was gone. No shout, no struggle. Just missing. The children screamed. Eleanor ran, but all she found was a small ribbon in the dust pressed flat as if something heavy had settled over it. By evening, the town gathered outside the schoolhouse, their faces pale beneath soot and sun. Mountain took her, an old miner muttered. Always takes what it's owed. Eleanor's jaw tightened. Mountains don't take children, she answered. People do. But the fear in their eyes made her shiver. The tracks. The next morning, before the sun had fully climbed, Eleanor returned to where Annie vanished. There, half buried in the gritty soil, she saw them. Tracks. Small, then larger. A child's footprints swallowed by something far heavier. They led toward the old mines, the ones boarded up after too many men went in and not enough came out. A dry wind moaned through the broken timber like something grieving. Still she followed. The mouth of the mountain. The abandoned mine yawned like a black jaw in the rock. Inside, Eleanor's lantern trembled in her hand. The air smelled of rust and something older. Scraps of fabric lay on the floor, Annie's ribbon, a child's scuffed shoe. Eleanor's voice echoed through the dark. Annie, Annie, can you hear me? A breath of cold answered her, followed by a faint cry. She ran deeper. The truth in the dark. At the bottom of the shaft she found her Annie, trembling but alive, caught in a snare of collapsed timbers, and beside her footprints, a man's size, fresh. The mountain, it seemed, wasn't hungry. But someone else was. Before she could flee, a shadow lunged from behind a support beam, a gaunt miner, eyes wild and lost, a man forgotten when the mine shut down, surviving on scraps and superstition. I saved her, he hissed. Mountain wanted her, but I saved her. Eleanor stepped between Annie and the man, heart pounding like a pickaxe against stone. No, she whispered. You took her, but you won't take anyone else. The miner lunged. Her lantern shattered. Darkness roared in. Escape from the DPTHS. Eleanor fought blindly, scrabbling through dust and splintered beams. She grabbed Annie's hand and pulled her up the shaft, crawling toward the faintest glimmer of daylight. Behind them the mountain groaned, a rumble of shifting rock. Then the tunnel collapsed, sealing the man and the darkness forever. When the two emerged into the sunlight, the townsfolk stared in stunned silence. Mountain didn't take her, Eleanor said. Fear did, fear, and a man you all forgot. Aftermath. From that day on, Bodie whispered a different story, not of curses or mountains that take their due, but of a woman who faced the dark and refused to let it claim another child. And though Bodie would go on to earn its reputation as one of the West's wildest, roughest, and deadliest towns, they say the mountain never took anything again. Because one schoolteacher taught the town it didn't have to.